Hey folks, welcome back to RoomRock's 3 Songs podcast. I'm your host, Bay. Here we have Diopter bringing us in episode 7, marching right along here into the new year. And Diopter joins us with his 3 original songs: Humble Man, Dream State, and Raise Your Hands Up. Thanks for listening, guys. We'll talk after.
Since 22, yeah.
Okay.
So
This is awesome.
yeah, it's interesting. Well, diopter is kind of funny. Diopter is it's actually an optometry term or an optics term. It means the strength of a lens, and so for me, it means the focusing, being able to focus on things in front of you.
Okay.
It's the power of that lens. And it's funny. I was with this workout group called F3, and the first workout you kind of get named, and so you kind of tell people about yourself, what you do, your family, that sort of thing. And he's actually a good friend of mine now, was just like, we're going to name you Diopter. I was like, how did you know that? Because it's not something that's very common. So I've been using that name at my workout groups for a long time. And I was like, you know what? That actually sounds like a pretty cool, artist name or band name as well. So
When
it's just
we
kind of
lost,
Start with Humble Man.
up to you.
Yeah, I think we start with Humble Man.
gave up. Some say we don't know about tomorrow.
You want to?
Yeah. Humble Man is really kind of an exploration of slowing things down as far as the guitar is concerned. And I think overall the song is really kind of a look back for me with respect to the hubris as a young man, me personally, thinking that I knew what I wanted to be, what things were like. I knew what I was doing. And, I think when you age a little bit, you look back and you just look at, and you think, well, I didn't know anything. I didn't know anything. I knew what I wanted to be doing. But I think the hubris from a young man to an older man changes over time.
After the frost, the thaw will come. Before the death, many battles won.
I think life tends to strip you down and put you at a point where you're lost. And once you lose that hubris, you become a lot more humbled towards just everything, and understanding that, in the grander scheme of things, it's one of the parts of that song. We're all but specks in the grander theme, and in the universe we are small. And so the more humble you are, I think the better you can be for your people. You can stop focusing on yourself and focusing on the people around you to better them and to help them better themselves. And ultimately, the faster you can get to that as a man or a person, it helps you move along faster, the faster you can get to that point.
Did you get lost in your path along the way? Yeah, I feel like there's this theme through all your songs where you kind of lose your way and then the shadow comes or something and you have humility and it changes your course.
You know, there was I've lost my way a number of times. Personally, I've lost myself, and I think that it kind of got used to trying to bring myself back. I went through a divorce in 2014, and that I think was ultimately the bearing of Diopter.
Really?
Absolutely. It was ground zero. But again, it strips you down and it makes you think otherwise.
I will be a humble man.
So the next song we could talk about is
Dream State.
Dream State.
Yep. Dream State was off my first album, Dream State, and this was probably the first really complex song that I put together. I started dabbling into some synths, and Dream State's about in 2023, I think I wrote this early 2023, or maybe even late 2022. I wrote this song, and it took me forever to mix it because I didn't know what I was doing. And I was just like, God, this is just crazy. I had like 12 tracks of stuff going at one point in time. But it's about waking up. I always kind of felt that people have been sleepwalking for so long. And the song is that the powers that be, especially in the United States and everywhere, powers that be are kind of there to keep the individual person's mind off of what they're doing. Let's start some infighting between these two groups so that it creates a diversion so that we can kind of continue what we're doing. And it opens as kind of trying to, or the feeling like you are waking up and waking out of a dream. You hear this acoustic guitar that's kind of coming in, but it's also reversing at the same time. It goes into reverse and then back forward, and it's kind of this hazy voice. But the first thing that it says is, "Open your eyes, listen to me. You have been dreaming." And so it's this person out there trying to wake whoever it is up.
Open your eyes, listen to me. You have been dreaming. The world's taking
So yeah, it's kind of my way of saying, hey, let's start paying attention to things, because if they go too far, we it's going to be really difficult to recover.
Now, is this tie into like the political things that are going on in the country right now, or is this like directly towards that, or is it overall this like broader theme?
I think it's a broader theme, not only just of the country. It's everywhere. It's all countries.
Yeah.
It's more of it's a song for the individual. There's when you go to the guitar solos there, the first part of the guitar solo is really supposed to be a person that is getting up and yelling at the top of his lungs. Everybody needs to wake up. That's the first part of the guitar solo. The second part is this really like dark, guitar that comes in, and those are kind of the overlord, government, whoever, that are trying to squelch and drown out the individual, and then the individual kind of comes back in. But yeah, so it's a pretty cool song. It actually is it probably is my favorite from that album, because it just fell together pretty well.
Whatever you do, just open your eyes. You must leave the dream stay.
And I guess having this creative outlet is also a kind of a therapy.
There's no doubt. I think that, the other benefit to this is it has allowed me to come in touch with my feelings that I don't really think I ever knew.
Yeah.
I guess sometimes you just get pre-programmed and you don't go into your feelings, you just go. And, until you're able to find some way to understand them, then you can understand yourself a little bit better.
Open your eyes. You must leave the dream stay.
Do you want to tell us a little about Hands at the Sky? That's like the wife picked, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
She was like, you need to use that.
Far is the moment when things come clear. Sometimes we need a push to the edge, or else we always live in fear.
So Hands to the Sky is it's really just a song about giving in to the flow of life, knowing that you're not perfect. There are a lot of things that we do, giving yourself into a higher power. I think some of the lyrics, you see, at times I don't know who I am, other times I fly.
Other times I fly,
But I try to keep my feet on the ground
keep my feet on the
and raise my hands to the sky. And, it's being grounded and understanding where you're at in your life. And
But you're a religious person, so I see.
I am religious. I think I am, I'm a Christian. It's just one of those things personally for me. I don't know where I would be without it. I think ultimately I don't necessarily feel, I think you have to find something that you have reverence to. It doesn't matter. It can be a higher power.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It can be dust in the wind, man. I don't know. It's just, It just depends on what makes you feel and what makes you think at a higher level.
Moment you know you have no fear is the moment that you let go.
I have these themes that come up, and they're all religious, kind of like raising your arms up high. Like the song I'm working on now is like raising your arms up, and they're all around these ideas that feel of meaning to my life because of the way I was brought up, but not necessarily that I believe.
I think there's a basis there for everyone. I look at, even if you don't believe in God, even if you don't believe in what Jesus was, I think that there are a lot of lessons there in striving to be like him. I don't even think you have to believe in him. But if you understand what he was here for and what, how he lived his life, to try to emulate that, I think the world would be a great place.
Yeah, I agree. And I think the themes of your song and this idea of humility and being kind to people.
It's humanity.
It's humanity, exactly. That's exactly.
It's humanity.
Humanity.
And I think that's all we can ask for. It's not our place to judge anyone. I think it's our place to be as good to humanity as possible, because I think ultimately that's what brings out the best in all of us.
All right, folks, that's it. Episode 7 is in the books. That's a wrap. I really enjoyed talking with Diopter. I want to thank him for sharing with us his story. I know this one got me a little bit emotional at the end, I have to admit. And next week we'll be joined, episode 8. We'll have Featherstone Massacre will be joining us. He's a nice guy from the UK. And that'll be on Wednesday. So we'll start trying to get these out on every Wednesday. We'll see how that works out. See you next week. Share the love. Your host, Bay. Bye.